comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Nerds United, a JitteryMonkey.com podcast, part of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network, available on all of your favorite podcast platforms. At least that's what I've been led to believe. And specifically for you, yes, you, joining us on YouTube. And if I'm pointing to you, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm your host. My name, Greg Mahochko. This handsome, ripped gentleman, straight from his trip to the gym, his 5 out of 7 days to the gym. He is the co-host of the year, Mike Luther. Hello, Mike.
Actually, 6 out of 7 days.
Overachiever.
and I don't have much to show for it. But also, I was in your neck of the woods again today.
You should have reached out.
I thought about it. We started at the Edge, and then we went to Eckert's.
Oh, gosh, I'm going to be there on Sunday.
It seems like a nice place.
Have you never been?
No, I have. A long time ago. Long time ago. Where do we? Then we went to like an apartment rental place. Actually, it was kind of funny because I didn't realize it when they had it on the itinerary, but it said Bow's Rentals or whatever. We were going to meet there to do some stuff. It's literally across the street from where I used to live in Belleville.
I know. I don't know that family real well, but I know them. They have kids who go to the same school as Garrett. So,
okay.
Yeah, good company.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. He seemed like a nice guy. And then we ended up back at the Edge, and took a tour of that place.
Very cool.
So yeah. So,
did you get to play laser tag?
We did not. However, they have a augmented reality machine where it's like a room that you go in, you and like a couple friends go in, and you are part of the video game, right?
Okay.
And so like you there's two big screens, and you can have up to 6 people in it. There's 2 big screens, and like the one that people played was there was like you had to stand on a certain block or whatever.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, well, it looked like it was fun for them, and also there's a video, and you can email the video to yourself or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it seemed fun. I didn't want to play it because I don't like to see myself on video.
That's fair.
You know,
I don't photograph well. I don't know why. Why are we doing this on video?
You know what? I don't mind this.
Okay.
You know,
it's anything below the nips.
I stare at you when I watch the video.
Aww.
You know, and I go,
I look at you.
I wish I was
Here.
Greg.
Hold on.
Look at that man's man right there. You see, even better. We just our views just went up or down. I'm not sure, or they plummeted. I don't know. Either one.
We did the 5 Heart Show last night, and we did that live. And the co-host she made a comment, and I was in disbelief. I was incredulous, and I pull off my glasses because I have to because I'm old. And you know that Justin Timberlake gif where he's like,
yes,
like that curious and doubtful. I tried to do that. It's like, and Josh, best friend of this show, Josh, and he's a friend of the show over there. But although it should be flipped because he's over there every week.
I don't even know if he still listens.
He's about to lose his spot. But he says, Greg, don't ever do that again. So it's a thrill to be here with you tonight. It's going to be stressful for me because we're doing this at 8 o'clock at night when we usually do it at 9 or later when my family's asleep. My family's wide awake all right now. So can you hear young children in the background?
At this moment, no.
Okay.
But I did earlier. But that's just part of the podcast experience, baby.
It is. The reason we're recording now is I got clearance from my wife. Is our youngest, the younger of the 2 twins, and 2 are the younger than our oldest. Anyway, he has not been feeling well today, and I thought we had a record for throw ups a couple nights ago. He might be breaking that record today.
Okay.
He's had a rough go. A little GI bug. I haven't felt my best, but I haven't thrown up. So we'll.
Great. I just noticed something, Greg. You thought I wouldn't notice. You thought I wouldn't notice, Greg. You changed my name. For everybody out there, I never, Greg did this. I never have just my name on here. It's always something. My name originally was Shirtless Greg.
And nobody wants Shirtless Greg.
I didn't say they wanted it. I just said my name was Shirtless Greg.
I'm sorry, Mike.
All right. I noticed it, though. All right.
I should have been shirtless. I should have put Shirtless Mike.
People don't want that. Trust me. There's way too much hair.
Way too much fat over here. Anyway, so Matt's not been feeling great. So I thought, let me try to... so let me try to knock out this podcast earlier. That way, if he's not feeling great later, I can help. Maybe my wife can get some sleep.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, that would be good. It would also be good if he just magically got better.
That'd be great. In fact, Garrett and I were talking about that on the way to picking him up. I was like, yeah, I'm a little nervous about him throwing up in my van, which he did. He's like, Garrett's like, I said, I'd really like him to not throw up in the van because he'd already thrown up at daycare. And Garrett says, genius. He says, how about if he just doesn't throw up at all? I was like, good thinking.
That's smart man right there.
I wish we could just turn it on and off with the switch because if we could, the switch would always be in the off position.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know when it would be on the on position.
Well, let's dive right in, shall we? Because we are on borrowed time, and I don't know if people want to appreciate the giggles in the back. I'm kind of enjoying it myself, but I don't know. I don't want it to distract from the tremendous content, A-level content we bring.
If sometimes you listen to a song and they have like a police siren, or like I've heard one where it's like there was a knocking and it actually makes me think, like it makes me turn around. Like I wonder if somebody listens to this podcast and they have kids, they're like, what? Or if they don't, they just all of a sudden they think there's a ghost in the house.
Right.
Or something, But yes, let's
It's definitely not a ghost. Or is it? We don't know. We don't live where you live.
It's a ghost for sure. I can
cut right through that. So
no, let's you are correct. We are on borrowed time. So should we talk about comic books?
Let's start there. Admittedly, I have not read Dick in the last week. So we'll see what the weekend brings, but I have not read anything.
Yeah. So I was telling you before the podcast, I did read some stuff, and I got some stuff. I don't remember if I had shown you the stuff, but anyway. So I told you, I said I kind of found not a shortcut, but a
workaround
way of getting a way around getting comic books as of right now. Because look, comic books are expensive, and I 100% will eventually go back to comic book stores. And probably soon, actually, to get some. But in the meantime, when I need to get some reading done, I found this out: libraries have comic books. Not only that, but you can request comic books, and they will bring it to your local library or wherever you're from, and they give them to you, and then you read them and you give them back, of course.
Mm-hmm. So
all of that I've gotten from this week and last week are from libraries.
Very nice.
Yes, and like I said, I want to support, and I will support the brick and mortar shops, but supporting a library, I don't know. By the way, I don't know how I support the library because I don't pay for anything. The library, but whatever. So
Speaking of libraries,
yes,
my wife also visited a library yesterday or today and acquired a new young adult novel.
Okay,
for the purposes.
I was worried when you didn't say novel for a bit.
That apparently is all the rage. I guess it's, I don't know. I think about it, but hey, more books.
That's right. So did I show you guys this one last time?
No, but
okay. Yeah, you got the perfect.
So here's what you did is you told us about it. And I don't remember. I know you mentioned it, or I thought you mentioned it, but I couldn't. Me and my memory. So when you said that, or when you sent that to me, I said, "Well, she doesn't look anything like Vanessa Kirby. He doesn't look anything like Pedro Pascal. Like this is a horrible mock-up of the new Fantastic Four cast."
So I might have mentioned this one last time. Like you said, just getting it. I finished it though. I will say it's pretty good. I think that the Fan Force Stick took from the Ultimates. It seems like because in this one, their powers come from Reed Richards discovering the end zone.
Negative zone.
They call it the end zone, but yeah, negative
really?
Zone. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. They call it.
Okay, so you like capital N zone.
Yes.
I thought you said end zone like football.
Yeah. And it's it starts off with Reed Richards being in middle school and he gets recruited, and it goes from there. Good. The only thing is like the bad guy is he turns into I don't think they call him this, but it was like basically Mole Man. And his real name is like Moleman Vanichik or something. It's like it was the most comic booky name in the world, But I finished that. I don't know if I'll read volume 2 or not, if it's available, but I enjoyed it. And then also I completely finished, and I don't have them here. Gideon Falls volume 5 and 6. So that's okay. Okay, good. That's volume 5 and that's volume 6. Completely finished that. Very happy with that.
I didn't know it was a 6-volume story until you sent me the picture, and on the bottom underneath volume 6 it says the end. I said, "Oh, yes. Okay, good." It's a me. I like my finishes.
Yes, and I'll tell you right now, volume 5 and 6 were quick reads. Honestly,
really. Honestly, the whole thing's kind of a quick read.
I was going to say, honestly, I was like, volume 3, 4, 5, and 6 were quick reads.
Well, I have read volume 1.
I think I finished one of the volumes within 25 minutes, and it was on the treadmill.
Well,
wait,
you mean that I could go to the gym,
you could
walk and read at the same time?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to look into this.
I actually, what's funny is I used to watch TV while I walked because I'm not going to run. And then I was like, I'm so far behind on my comic books. I want to see if I can just walk and read. Sure enough, I can.
Very nice.
My body allows me to.
Well, God bless your body.
So then the next one I'm reading, and I know I mentioned this one, DC versus Vampires, All Out War Part 1. It's kind of exactly what you would.
You didn't send me that.
I didn't send you that picture. No. It's kind of exactly what you would think. Some of the people in DC have turned into vampires, and
Batman's there to save them all.
Well, not yet.
Man-Bat would be the obvious choice to save them all.
Man-Bat is there actually, yes, and he does do some saving. So, and then the last one that I'm currently reading is one I sent you. It's X-Men Ultimates. Now, Greg, look at that picture. Tell me, is that the worst version of Wolverine you've ever seen?
It looks like he's 19.
Yeah,
and just not. Does the art on the inside improve?
No.
Okay, great. Then the worst.
Yeah. And here's the thing. So I had, before coming onto this podcast, I had heard about the Ultimates, and where it was. And correct me if I'm wrong. It was like a relaunching of the Marvel characters, all the Marvel characters, because they realized, like, man, some people, like, if we want new readers to come in, they're going to have to read like 600 back episodes to understand anything. So let's start all over. And that happens a lot in comics. And
I'll say this. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No.
But it did. I mean, they did model their version of Nick Fury after Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Yes.
So, and then of course, when they cast the movie, they cast Samuel L. Jackson. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that might be. I think they changed a lot. They updated, modernized, whatever. I feel like they used the Ultimates version of Thor to an extent in the movies.
Okay.
Remember, like, the beard and things like that. It's been a long time since I've read the Ultimates books that I have. So
yeah, and I haven't read much of them. I haven't even read much of the X-Men one, but this is what I'll tell you. So it starts off. Hank McCoy, who is Beast, and is like very dignified. He's a senator or some representative, something like that. And sometimes, No, in this version, you meet him at a bar and somebody's trying to get in a fight with him, and you would almost think like they wanted him to be Wolverine, and then Storm she's in jail, and Jean Grey I didn't even know it was Jean Grey. I was like, oh, who's this new mutant? They're trying too hard to make everybody really edgy.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, look, if you read it and you love it, that's awesome. I have no problem with that. For me, it didn't connect with me. I'll finish it, of course, because I'm going to finish it. Would I read volume 2 just in the couple pages that I reached? No, probably not. It's just not my X-Men.
Coming soon to the MCU, Ultimate X-Men.
I think they know better.
Do they though?
Who knows? We'll find
Look
out.
at their recent track record. Do they?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think they know a whole lot.
So that's all I've read and am reading so far. I got 2 more books. I pick them up tomorrow, if I remember. But I got two. One by Jeff Lemire, and
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
The other one might be by Jeff Lemire too. I forget, but they're 2 good ones. 2 ones 2 ones I ordered, I requested, and I forgot about. And then I get a text message. I'm like, oh, perfect.
Michael. Still working on Kingdom Come. As I said, haven't read any more of it. It's been a busy week. Let's see. I got home earlier than anticipated last night, but still like after dinner. I think Monday night was the only other night I was home. Yeah, so I've just been working a lot this week.
That's fair.
So apologies to you and to everyone I have disappointed with my lack of reading comic books.
I am going to have a ton of work next week. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, we got a big topic tonight as we've been really having some fun. But before we do that, and before we move on to our other topics, the things we put up on social media over the week, just want to remind you, the good people, especially if you're already watching us on YouTube, is to hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure that you ring the bell and are notified every time we drop new episodes, which is about every week. As we mentioned, and as you've heard in the background, I have young children. We both have jobs, and I don't have a whole lot of time for more recording. Let's face it, we don't update the Facebook page enough to provide more topics for discussion. So unless we want to just start making things up, this is what you get. As they say in Phineas and Ferb, which is a big favorite around our house with the kids, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
That's the way to get people coming.
So like, subscribe, and make sure you get notified. All right. So look over at the Facity book page. Let's start with we talked about X-Men comics. So let's turn it up a little bit. Talk X-Men cartoon. A couple days ago, earlier this week, it was announced. A Hollywood Reporter broke the story that the X-Men 97 creator, Bo DeMaio, was relieved of his duties less than 2 weeks before the series hits on Disney Plus. No, I haven't seen any reasons as to why, but for the guy who was so integral in bringing back that beloved cast of characters from our childhoods, our formative years, for him to just be let go, makes you wonder.
Yeah, because normally they would put out something, or at least there'd be a rumor of something. I haven't even heard of rumors.
Right.
It doesn't seem like it's amicable though.
No, I don't think so at all.
Because it's he's let go. Because a lot of times, there's creative differences, or he had prior commitments or something like that. This was just like he's no longer working with us, and he deleted everything. So
this, of course, I was gonna say, we have more information, but no, we don't. That page is not found. Let's see. So according to Entertainment Weekly, their dismissal, as discussed by the Marvel animation head, addressed Bo DeMayo's exit and says, I can't talk about the details. I can say that Bo had real respect and passion for these characters and wrote what I think are excellent scripts that really the rest of the team were able to draw inspiration from to build this amazing show that's on screen. Asked if he would say that their parting of ways was a firing. He says, I don't. We parted ways is the best I could say. So, still not the best look.
No.
Especially when, it was, again, the Hollywood Reporter that said he was fired weeks before the premiere. He also worked on Moon Knight and worked on the Blade movie that is continually in
limbo
development, I suppose.
Yeah, development. That's yeah.
Limbo's probably a better word. Might end up in Hollywood purgatory at this point. I don't know. So, I look at with hindsight. I mean, I haven't watched it since it came out, but I think for me, Moon Knight is worth another watch. I am excited for X-Men 97 to hit. That's going to be Wednesday of next week. I don't know because I haven't looked. I'm sure it's out there if they're going to do weekly episodic or if they're going to dump them all at once.
I think it's weekly episodic. I think the first 3 movies come out once.
Movies? Awesome.
I mean, yes, the first 3 X-Men movies that are out. You got to watch
4.5 hours.
Yes, and then you're going to watch the X-Men 97 cartoons.
I like the way that sets up. I mean, think about it. We came up with that cartoon. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever read any X-Men comic books as a youth, but that cartoon was one of the reasons why I was so excited for the X-Men movies when they came out 24 years ago. So,
yeah.
All right.
I'm just listening to the background.
When I can, I try to mute my microphone, but they're excited. It's all good.
They're having fun.
People know I have kids.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We're gonna keep in Marvel for now because this was announced earlier today that Venom 3 is getting a bump up. I think it was set for a November release of this year, maybe December, but now it's going to be towards the back end of October. And they're changing the title from whatever it was. And I don't know or maybe they never changed the title, but maybe they just gave it officially a title. But Venom: The Last Dance, Mike.
Yeah. I don't care.
No, not interested in the Venom. Did you see Venom 2? Did you watch
I
Carnage?
don't remember. Yeah, I saw Venom, I think, in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I saw it. So where did I see it? Because I don't think it's on. Is it on Max?
No, by now wouldn't it be on Disney? After the acquisition? No, Sony. I'm thinking.
So yeah, so maybe I saw it in theater actually.
I did.
I might have, honestly. I can't remember. So
it's on Hulu with the premium subscription. I don't know.
Okay, I've seen it, so I must have seen it in theaters. And I don't know. I have no interest.
Wasn't your particular cup of brandy?
Not bad. Just not really rememberable.
Mm-hmm. Similar. I think the first one's fun. I think the second one is like, oh, we have to include Carnage.
Yes.
But then you got to do it right.
Right.
And then, so this last one, this is just me. I don't know if you watched the 10-part documentary, probably not. But on Michael Jordan, The Last Dance on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I've seen it twice.
So when they announced that it was the last time, it'd be really great if it was like a documentary style and it was just talking about Venom's travel, like his adventures. Be like, and you have like the Eddie Brock part, but also like Venom character taking over and them sharing an argument. That's not going to be the movie, obviously, but I'd be tickled if that was the case.
I would love it if it started off that Eddie Brock just introduced Netflix's The Last Dance. And you're just in theater and you just get to watch it.
All 10 hours.
All 10 hours of it. You know.
Well, we're going to move right along again. Venom: The Last Dance coming to theaters this October. This one, we got
Actually, hold on. With Venom, I just thought of this. Another book I read or finished was Spider-Man: Spider Shadow, the one you let me borrow.
Yes.
So yeah, it has Venom in it. It has Peter Parker, I guess, uses the symbiote suit, and starts killing people. And he doesn't hold back.
I feel like that's why I got it, oddly enough, because I saw like a couple of frames, and maybe I even talked about this back when I got it. I said, these are the frames, and I was like, oh, what is that? Is that, 'cause sometimes it could be like fan art, something like that. But it was, I sought it out, and I said, that's an actual book. And so I got the book, and I was like, he kills them. So,
and you know what else I thought, and it kind of goes along with this book. One thing I've thought about a topic, and I haven't been able to think of how it would work, so I'll just do it now. Was like, and I had a thing in mind where it was going to be like good guys that would make better bad guys or something like that. And the reason I would say that is because I would think of Spider-Man, because I think Spider-Man, forget about Venom, actual Spider-Man, like if you wanted to be evil, he would be great being evil. Super strength, obviously, but also think of like the way I thought of it was think of his webs. What if they were actual, like really sticky?
Yeah.
To where like because I was thinking of the scene where a lot of scenes where he webs somebody's face. What if in order to take that off, you're taking skin off?
Right. Yeah. Or and as you were going into that, and I like that idea, or maybe if there's like just a hint of acidity to it.
Yeah. So the people they get caught by Spider-Man, you can tell because they have scars on their face or something,
and how he could still crack wise,
yes,
and kind of comes off with this like because that's the thing when Peter Parker puts on, especially OG Peter Parker, when he puts on the mask, he goes from nerdy to like super confident.
Yes.
Like if he's got that personality where he's just, but maybe taking up a few notches to where he's like a full on dick.
Yes. Yes.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I would say the other thing is like in the comic books and movies and all this, he like webs people up and he leaves them dangling there. Right. And I've heard like, oh, well, the webs go away within, or
like
the webs go
an hour, like they dissolve or something.
And they dissolve or whatever. So that way there's not web hanging all over the city and stuff. But also, what if he webs somebody there for whatever reason they're 20 stories up? They have to just hope that could be like a scene where they're like it's the timer's going down and they're hoping somebody can rescue them.
Yeah.
Or if not, that's going to dissolve and they fall.
Or even something like from a light post, which is kind of a common spot to hang a foe. And like nobody's out, it's middle of the night, and again maybe these whipped the mouth shut so they can't even scream for help, and then but they're hanging upside down, and then the web dissolves and they land right on their head.
Yes, yeah. So
this is going to a dark place.
But no, that's what I was thinking about. Yes.
All right, we should work on that.
Agreed. We can work on that one, and maybe I don't know, do a bad guy that would be good. I don't know, but I don't have one for that.
I still think that there's some validity to like Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor, because a lot of bad guys, some of the best villains are like they think they're the hero, like they're the hero of their own story. And not Joker, because Joker's just maniacal, things like that. But Mr. Freeze is another because he's again so altruistic. He was trying to find this cure for his wife Nora. Yeah. But like Lex Luthor he was supposed to be the man of tomorrow, and he was going to raise Metropolis to new heights, and then Superman appears and there goes that. So like that'd be an interesting one as well. Like just take some of these classic characters and I don't know. I feel like there might be an Elseworlds or something like that where Lex Luthor has that like hero type of journey.
It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. No. And it would be very good.
They kind of in the Superman, Dawn of DC Superman story or issues that I have, they alluded to that and even showed some of that when he first got, he used his tech capabilities and his big brain, kind of like an early Iron Man to try to be a crime fighter in the city. So they've hinted at it even in 2023-24. So well, moving away from Marvel, we're going to go in a very different and darker direction. Mike, did you watch the trailer this week for the Crow remake?
Yes, what's funny is I saw it at like midnight. No, it was a little past midnight because I just happened to woke up and I couldn't fall back asleep and it was on my phone. I was like, oh, Crow trailer. Okay, let me check it out. And I almost messaged you. I was like, we don't. I was like, neither one of us. I don't think have you seen the Crow?
Oh yeah, a couple times. In fact, I just watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Really? Okay, never mind. Because I was gonna be like, well, neither one of us have seen it, so why would I even mention it? But you put it on the Facebook page, and that makes sense because you've seen it.
Here's the thing. I remember watching it on VHS. I think either I rented it or like someone my sister was dating at the time rented it and brought it over, and like the three of us watched it again. Not like I was third wheeling them or anything like that, but it was just like, what the hell else am I going to do? We have a limited number of TVs, VCRs in the house, and there's obviously what everybody remembers about the original Crow is that unfortunately it was the accidental death of Brandon Lee, right? Being shot on set there. I think the other biggest takeaway from that movie is the fact that it turned around a professional wrestler's career. Sting, when Sting adopted that Crow persona. I mean, they still call it, almost 30 years later, they still call it Crow Sting,
yeah. Well, I mean, Scott, I don't know if there's whatever documentary, Scott Hall just straight up admitted he told Sting to watch the Crow and just do that.
And Eric Bischoff confirmed such on his podcast. He's like, that was a Scott Hall. Scott Hall had a brilliant mind, and I'm not, I never knew Scott Hall, but all reports indicate that there's no lie detected. But like you watch the movie, the whole it's almost like the movie The Batman, where it's all very dark.
Yes.
Raining a whole lot. And still, like it's bloody, it's violent, language, etc. I mean, it's a hard R. There's no escaping. But then I watched the trailer for this, and my first, as minimal as it might be, just the first, when I saw the makeup on this Bill Skarsgård, I'm sure he's been in other things, but I'm like, that doesn't even look like Crow. Like if you want, if it's 2024 or 2023, I guess maybe when they started filming, and you're remaking the Crow, you watch Sting and you say, that's the look you need to have. Because there's a blueprint, and the Crow. I mean, it's I say it's a cult favorite. I mean, but it's I don't know the. Do you remember? You say you never seen the Crow?
No, I know of it. By the way,
I think it's on Prime Video if you wanted to watch it. Like it's included with Prime if you did want to watch it.
Oh, sweet. Bill Skarsgård, I can't believe you're just being like, oh, he might have been into some other stuff. That dude's Pennywise.
Yeah, I know. I've not seen it, but
I think I saw the first one, maybe the chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's been in some stuff.
He's been in a few things. He's from that legendary Skarsgård family.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of them. No, I'm not trying to minimize his role, but the Crow from 1990, whatever, it's like a indie rocker. He and his girlfriend are killed. But like they have that dark, I think it's unique, like a child. God dang, I can't remember. I think it's a child delivering like when there's a death occurs or crows, and the voice that they had delivering that speech in this trailer, immediately I was like, that's not the right voice. Like you need that almost like a soulful innocence. I don't know how to describe it.
So in the new trailer,
mm-hmm.
it's very, very violent. Of like, he's getting shot and he's, he turns the gun around and shoots himself to shoot the person behind him because he can't die and stuff. Is stuff like that in the old one, in the original?
Correct.
Okay,
yeah. So Eric Draven, I believe is, I should know that. Yeah. Is the rocker who's killed along with his girlfriend, and he comes back to avenge her. He can't be. I mean, like somebody shoots him point blank, and he kind of looks and it's like Wolverine. He's heals, and he's like,
yeah.
This is my.
Yeah.
Sorry for people.
He turns into Wolverine.
I was saying sorry for people who are just listening. It's like, what does that sound? That's my rock'em sock'em robot fist. So I don't know. For me, like they always say, a remake doesn't erase the original. Although wouldn't that be crazy if like Hollywood worked like that? Like, all right, we are remaking The Crow in 2024. So the 1990s version of The Crow, we'll find every copy and burn it.
That's what people think. Or like, however many years back when they did Ghostbusters. All right, all the old Ghostbusters, go find them, go destroy them. This is the Ghostbusters now. Yeah, people think they're gonna like, somebody from the movie industry is gonna be knocking on their door and be like, ma'am, do you have the original Crow on VHS? Okay, you need to turn that in. We have a remake now.
I just realized our logo wasn't in the corner.
People were like, what are we listening to?
Now you know.
Now you know.
You made it 36 minutes, and we appreciate you. Did you just point over here?
No, I pointed. Well, on my screen, this is where the Nerds United logo is. I don't know where it shows up on other screens. Does it show up?
There you go. That's better.
Okay. I'm on my screen. I'm pointing to you, by the way, on my screen right now.
Well, I'm pointing to you.
You're here. Well, on my screen, it looks like we're pointing to each other.
Aw.
Yeah.
ET phone home? This is not going to work out.
No, probably not. We're probably both going the different way, same way.
All right. One of us is screwed up. Okay. Shall we jump to our big topic of the night?
Yes.
I'm actually very excited about this.
Yes.
So let's recap. This started about a month ago. We had just run across it because I had shared it on Facebook, on the Facebook page about 80s movies, and it had a much more bountiful list than what we provide to one another. But it's like you can only keep 3, I think, or maybe I think theirs was 3.
3. Yeah.
And so we said, okay, well, let's do that. Let's have some fun and let's put that up and let's share that idea and that concept. And then we did Marvel movies, and then we did DC movies. Yes. And last week you said we've done 80s movies. Let's do 90s movies. So that's where we are. We're going to, and we've fixed our technology, so now you can see us and the movies.
Sorry,
it is the best. I was saying it's the best of both worlds, and then you pooped on it. So who's going first this week, Mike?
I'll go first.
Okay, so mine to you.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Let us bring up the image.
Okay.
For the benefit. Now I think I do have to do away with this. So it's not overlapping. All right, here we go.
All right. So interesting. The 90s movies that you have out, just in case somebody's listening and not watching, you have Empire Records, Reservoir Dogs, Braveheart, The Sixth Sense, Varsity Blues, The Iron Giant, Dazed and Confused, Hook, The Lion King, Matrix, Independence Day, The Mummy, Good Will Hunting, Basketball, and Mallrats. All right. So I have to pick 5 of these. Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to pick this one right away because somebody I know, I was talking to her about 90s movies, and I said, what's the quintessential, like, you think 90s movie, what do you think of? She said Good Will Hunting. So
really? Never
listens to this podcast, but I would get in trouble if she did. So I'm going to pick Good Will Hunting. And also, I like it. Good Will Hunting is a great movie.
I was going to ask if you'd seen Good Will Hunting.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Several times.
Okay.
Here's the other one. Another movie I've seen a lot, and I wouldn't even have thought of it in this sense of 90s movies. In fact, if you would have asked me, I would have said this movie came out in early 2000s. But that's Basketball.
So Basketball came out before South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut, the South Park movie, which came out in 1999. And I know that because you had to be 17 or with an adult to get in the theater. and I went and saw it on my 17th birthday with B-Lo and another friend back in the day when we, were associates. And they checked your ID when you bought the ticket. They checked your ID when they tore the ticket stub, and they checked your ID a third time before you actually walked into that specific theater.
Really? Wow.
Because they thought, like, this is the most vile. It was getting the Terrence and Phillip treatment. And, like, fast forward to anything that comes out now, or, a lot of stuff that comes out, like, that is tame in comparison. But the songs still hold up.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you, Empire Records I've never seen.
Really?
Yes.
Very good movie.
I've heard
terrific soundtrack.
Okay.
And I believe it's on Hulu. It is.
Here's the other one I haven't seen, and I feel bad for not seeing this one because I've heard only the best of the best about it. The Iron Giant.
Dude.
I've heard nothing but great things about that, and I'm serious about that.
I think, Ted Lasso, right?
Yes.
They talk about it. So that is on, I guess, Paramount Plus. I thought it was on Max, but I guess it's Paramount Plus.
Well, I have Paramount Plus, as long as my mom has it still.
There you go.
Okay, so another one I'm going to pick. I'm going to go Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the cartoon Lion King, correct?
Of course.
Okay. I'm going to go Lion King. There's a lot of other good ones. Okay. Hook has some good scenes.
I'm really glad that my list is that enjoyable for you.
Yes.
Like it's not like, there's a couple obvious ones, maybe one or two you have to pick from, the rest are garbage.
No.
Yes, I succeed.
Yes. So I got Good Will Hunting, Basketball, Lion King. Let me go with Sixth Sense.
Okay. Did you know the first time you watched it, did you know he was dead? Spoiler alert.
No,
okay.
Nobody did. And if you said you did, you're a liar.
That's right.
I will say that right now because I've heard from some people, I knew from the very beginning that you didn't. It shocked everybody. Shut up. Let's see. I got one more. Okay. Now you think I would automatically go Mallrats because of Kevin Smith, but no.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Smith helped on Good Will Hunting. It's fine.
That's yes, true.
You got your obligatory Kevin Smith in there.
Yeah. It's either between Matrix or Independence Day. And here's the thing. I might like Matrix more. Or seem like it would be a better movie, but I know I've seen Independence Day a lot more.
Really?
Yes. Welcome to Earth.
I just made a barbecue.
Yeah.
So I've got to give me one of these.
I'm gonna go, and plus I like aliens. Just throw that out there, everybody. I like aliens.
No,
also,
noted.
throw it out to aliens in case you want to come and check me out. Not in a weird way though.
I think you just invited yourself to be probed.
Or in a weird way. I don't know. Whatever you prefer.
All good.
So Independence Day. So I got Good Will Hunting, Basketball, Lion King, Sixth Sense, and Independence Day.
Very nice. That's a tremendous selection. You know what? I like. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back because obviously to put these images together, I know your list as well. But I think I got a pretty broad range of 90s movies.
Yeah.
Got some of those like quintessential like teen angst, coming of age types. You have the epic, like Braveheart, I would consider kind of like an epic movie.
Absolutely.
You've got a couple of animated classics. You've got some fantastic types of stories, and you got some goofball comedy. So I kind of like my list. I
like your list too, and I hope the watchers and the listeners like it as well.
All right.
Speaking of liking list, I don't know I'll tell you. So once you read off the names,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you the one that I wanted to put on there, and I could not find the logo for.
Okay, I can't wait. Should I potentially include it in
No.
Okay. So it's not part of the running.
It's not part of the running. It's out.
Okay.
Couldn't find the logo for it, so it's out.
Well, let's see here as we put Mike's selections for me and what I have to choose from. So I have Jurassic Park, Home Alone, Rudy, Big Daddy, Dumb and Dumber, Happy Gilmore, The Sandlot, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rookie of the Year, The Shawshank Redemption, Fight Club, Saving Private Ryan, Tommy Boy, American Pie and Jumanji.
Yes. The one that I wanted to get on there was School Ties.
I was this close to putting that on my list.
Everything that you see on here, the way I looked it up was Jurassic Park logo, and it would show me exactly that Home Alone logo.
That's what I did.
School Ties logo showed me school tie, like pictures of ties that people wear to school, or the box for School Ties,
right?
Like the movie poster.
I'm just gonna see if I can have any more success.
You might be able to.
No, not really.
No,
it's the same. It's like the DVD cover of the movie poster type.
Yeah.
So that is incredible because, honest to God, my last two on my list for you came down to School Ties or Empire Records. And as soon as I got in my mind Empire Records, I'm like, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
So, all right. So right away, I'm gonna save Rudy because that's my all-time favorite movie.
I knew that. There's a reason I put Rudy on there.
I feel like you got to save Jurassic Park. Like I have memories of going to the movie and watching Jurassic Park, and that was so. I say it again.
Hi, Mike.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, Rob?
He can't hear you, but that's okay.
I know.
Rob said, or you're Rob. Mike says hi. All right. Mike also says good night. Okay, so you want to tell him good night?
Good night.
Good night.
All right, love you. See you in the morning. Get some good sleep.
I got lucky at the game.
No, don't worry about the gate. Just go upstairs to bed. He climbs those stairs like I do, exceptionally slow. He's like, I'm almost there. I was like, you're halfway there.
I looked at this list and I forgot it was my list, and I went, I saw Rookie of the Year, and I was like, ooh, I haven't seen that one in a while. Like I would have picked that. Oh, it's not my list. Okay.
All right, so the youngsters have gone to bed. We've got Rudy. We've got Jurassic Park. You know what? There's so many good movies on here. I would probably keep Rookie of the Year for. Here's the thing. No, don't write that down yet. The Sandlot's the better movie.
Yes. The Sandlot's the better. I would say when I was a kid, Rookie of the Year was a better movie. As an adult, Sandlot's a better movie.
Right. Yeah. So I'll go Sandlot. But why Rookie of the Year almost made the list? First of all, I don't think it can make the list because they're the Cubs. But True. When I was a kid, when that movie was in theaters, my grandpa took me to that movie. And let's see, Rookie of the Year was 1993, I believe.
Sure.
93. It was. I actually looked it up. Fred, if you're watching this and you were 49 minutes in, because Fred notices he's also a regular on the Five Heart podcast, but he's been watching and commenting, so we appreciate you, Fred. He calls me. He's like, oh, great. 10 minutes in, Greg's already Googling over here too. So I got there before. But yeah, so 1993, I'm 11 years old. That was I wouldn't know it at the time, but that was 2 years before my grandpa passed. So that's why Rookie of the Year almost made the cut. So we've got Rudy, Jurassic Park, The Sandlot. For me, as far as rewatchability of the remaining ones on the list, Saving Private Ryan. It's on that list for me. And I mean, there's some good ones.
Here's the thing. You know what? I should have figured out if you're an Adam Sandler fan or not.
Well, I am.
Okay.
I definitely am.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a I don't want to say like Die Hard, but like I had Happy Gilmore, or I think I have Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, Billy Madison. I think the only one from like his pure 90s run that I watched it, but I was like, okay, was the Punch Drunk Love or something like that.
Oh yeah, no.
But like Wedding Singer, I mean,
classic.
I actually watched an Adam Sandler movie. I'd seen it before, but I rewatched it here within the last month or so, called The Cobbler. Did you ever see The Cobbler?
No. So I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a tremendous watch, and what it is he's a cobbler. He repairs shoes, and you know when his modern-ish machine, from the 1950s or whatever breaks down. He has to go down in the basement and use this old machine that was passed down through the generations, and like it imbues these shoes with magic power. He's goofing around. He's like, size 10, try it on, and he stands up, looks in the mirror, and he's Method Man. Like, because Method Man was the guy who brought the shoes in, so he's trying to right some wrongs, trying to. I don't want to say like I think for a little while he's living vicariously, but then he's trying to like do some serious good with this ability. So I enjoyed the Cobbler, and I enjoy Adam Sandler movies. But when we're down to just one left,
yeah,
like Shawshank,
and you got the Ninja Turtles there too.
That's where I'm leaning. But I'm like, we got Fight Club, which is great, but I don't watch the Fight Club a ton.
Yeah, you can't even talk about it.
You're. Well done, Mike. I think you got to go Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those would be my 5. So we got Rudy, Jurassic Park, The Sandlot, Saving Private Ryan, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the OG one.
If School Ties was allowed, would School Ties have made it in that list?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, it wouldn't have. Because again, similarly, the lists are strong. And the 90s were a great decade for movies.
Yeah.
I don't think that's where like home video really came into its own. Like I still think you could probably put the latter half of the 80s, but you start talking about DVD players and things like that. Like it started upping the game a little bit. So I mean, like shit, I still got too damn many DVDs for a machine that's only plugged in when I want to watch largely Christmas movies. Like I got to put those on a DVD. But yeah, the 90s had some really strong movies.
I am willing to say that the 90s might have been the best for movies.
Despite, our obvious, appeal of the MCU and the comic book genre, I would tend to agree. There was just looking at our two, and unfortunately we're not good enough to do it like side by side.
Yeah.
But there's so much. I don't want to say like diversity. I mean, diversity now has a different meaning than it did 25, 30 years ago. But there's such a different presentations.
Yeah,
they're not all big budget. You look at these movies like Fight Club and Shawshank Redemption had completely different budgets. Jurassic Park and Dumb and Dumber. I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm safe to say because he's not ever gonna watch or listen to this, but Dumb and Dumber is like my dad's like secret low key like guilty pleasure movie. Like if he's flipping through channels and Dumb and Dumber's on, he's like, I'm gonna sit here and chuckle for a couple hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember I don't think I saw American Pie until the 2000s.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, wasn't in the theater for those. I don't know why I found them. I found them.
Yes.
Like Shannon Elizabeth, I found them.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get to the point of the show where this is your list that you gave me, but what would be the 5 that you would hold on to from this list?
Yes, I forgot about that. Okay. I would say for here. Okay, I'm definitely going Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go Happy Gilmore as well because I think I still quote stuff from Happy Gilmore.
For sure.
I gotta go Home Alone as well because I mean it also makes it in my top, probably 3 Christmas movies. Then I'm gonna go American Pie, just kind of have to because I mean there's so many great scenes in that as well, and Lily's in it too.
Yeah, that's true.
And then so I said Ninja Turtles, Happy Gilmore, Home Alone, American Pie, and of course, you got to go Jurassic Park. You got to go that.
I didn't know if at the last one, I don't know if you were going to go Jurassic Park or Sandlot.
No, I know. So here's the thing: I almost went Jurassic Park or Tommy Boy.
Okay,
because Tommy Boy. Here's the thing: I quote from Tommy Boy. I quote it in my head, and if I have to do an inspection, which I don't do, but if I ever had to do inspection or check out anything, I always in my head think, let's check out the specs on the rotary girder. It's like, what? Never mind. But no,
well,
that's number 6. Okay.
One opinion on a if I want to, ask about Timo, I can stick my head up a cow's ass, or I could ask my butcher.
Yeah.
So, so no, those are all. And again, such a selection, a varied selection that we have in the 90s. So I'm going to put the ones that I gave you. When we first talked about this, the first movie that I knew that I was going to include on this list. Any guesses what that was?
I'm going to say Braveheart.
Independence Day.
Ooh, okay. That's pure 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but of the ones that I would keep The Matrix, and I'll tell you why. New Baden Video. I rented that thing for $3 a pop 6 times.
Okay.
And then I went to Best Buy and I bought it for $18. So I double paid, but there's something about that movie that, I wrote, I don't know, wrote a paper. I guess I was a paper. I wrote a paper in college about The Matrix, and how it was transcending genres and just blah blah blah. So The Matrix, I handcuffed myself. I would keep Varsity Blues. The reason Varsity Blues made the list, honestly, is today I was listening to a recent episode of Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, where he was talking with Scott Kahn. And Tweeter, he plays Tweeter in that movie, and it was just it's an MTV Films from the late 90s, I think 98 or 99, and a rockin' soundtrack, a lot of humor and laughs, and some of that, West Texas, high school angst and shenanigans that they would get into. So that would be the second one. I think I would keep Empire Records.
Okay.
Empire Records has a young Liv Tyler and other people.
I would assume so.
Yeah. It's not her finest work, but who's the actress? I'm going to move on. I'm not going to Google it. But she was Bridget Jones' Diary later on. Regardless, she's in it as well, and Rory Cochrane. So I'm also going to pick Dazed and Confused because that has tremendous one-liners, a ripping soundtrack of the 70s, and just a ton of fun. So I've got Matrix, Varsity Blues, Empire Records, Dazed and Confused, and I threw Basketball on there because I was like, that's underrated comedy at the time, but I think I got to go Independence Day.
Fair.
So, again, there's not a bad movie on either of these screens.
No.
So this is the point of the program, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, that we say, where are you at? What movies are you picking from both of our lists? And we'll see how we match up. We'll check those out in the comments. Fred, we know we can count on you. I guess we'll demote you friend of the show, Josh. We'll see if you log in and watch.
I got an idea for another one, and if you think it's 2000s movies, no. But also, I want to say I'm gonna suggest this, and then if Fred or Josh has a suggestion, put it in the comments. What I was thinking? Maybe like cereals or something. Just throwing out there. If you guys have other suggestions, though, do your suggesting.
This is honestly, it's a lot of fun having these. We talked about 20 or so minutes on this stuff, and great topics. This all started because I saw a picture on social media and I said, let's have some fun with this. And I didn't even know if we'd get to talking about it in that episode, and we did. And it spawned one going to be, all right, you have to save 5 Jurassic Park movies. There's 6. So like, all right, which one's cutting? Or the other way to do that is 5 dinosaur movies like that. I'd have to get Garrett involved in that because he'd be like, Dad, I know some shit about dinosaurs. He wouldn't say, all right, well, he might. We need to have talks, he and I.
Okay.
But he's like, Dad, I know me some dinosaurs. So, we can have some fun. This is something we can do forever. So, with these topics, and it's a little quicker, a little more fast paced, a little more fun, I think, than the traditional like top 5.
Yeah.
And dare I say, a lot less work involved.
Yeah.
I mean, except for me when I'm manually dragging logos over to
Right.
What do you think? I just want your, and this is, behind the scenes production conversation that we don't need to have on the show. But as far as like the layout, I tried to not just do like a grid, like 5 across and 3 down.
Yeah. No, it works. It definitely works.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you for meeting with me a little early tonight. The kiddies are all in bed skis, and it's not 10:30 when we're done. So I think this is a success.
Yes.
Excellent. What are you going to do with the rest of you? You're going to go back to the gym.
I got to. No. Probably get some sleep. I don't know. Or play some Red Dead, probably.
RDR2.
RDR2. I make a pizza actually because we have the dough that's sitting out. I don't know. I don't think Nolan has made it yet. So
I'll do that before it goes bad.
Yeah.
Does dough go bad?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't last forever. So
let's nip that in the bud.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to all of our listeners. And we will see you next time here on Nerds United, a Jittery Monkey podcast, and on YouTube, where we remind you again to make sure that you hit those buttons and like and subscribe and get the notifier. That's right. Mike and I are, dinking the piano keys like this. We're not very bright sometimes. But at the end of the night, also, we remind you to be kind.
And rewind.
This is a production of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network. For more jittery shenanigans, go to jitterymonkey.com.